Hi guys, I am back today with a video on a collection that I was not going to pick up. I feel like I say this sometimes, but this time I really mean it. Now, two of the items that I got, I absolutely would have picked up because I've not tried them before and I was very curious to do that. The other item, I really didn't want to pick up, and I still am kind of like, was it worth it? You're going to find out my thoughts at the very end. But the collection I'm talking about is the Pat McGrath Labs Divine Rose Valentine's Day set that they had going on. There were more items that I decided not to pick up. There was a highlight that I did not pick up because really I kind of have all of my highlighting needs taken care of. Although if I do come into some extra cash, then yes, I would absolutely pick this one up and a couple others, I have to say. And then one of the items in the collection I already had, which was the Divine Rose 2, and I have it in the pink packaging, so I do have that here today as well. What I did pick up were the two Liquid Lust Legendary Wear Matte Lipstick. That is a mouthful. That's a lot of words for something you could have summed up by saying a liquid lipstick. But in any case, I did pick up both of them. I'm wearing the color Divine Rose right now, and later in the video you're going to see me in Divine Nude, and so you get to see both of the shades on my lips. The other item I picked up was the Eternal Eden quad, and this is what the... Okay, let's go ahead and just talk about the packaging. First and foremost, this collection's packaging was beautiful. I mean, let's go over here to the really long name for the liquid lipsticks, and this is what it looks like. It is so beautiful. This is what keeps getting me, is the stinking packaging. It is beautiful. I just am gonna have to display it somewhere, and I will. It's gonna happen. But so this is beautiful to me. I actually kind of like the change to the packaging in a way. I do kind of miss the tie-ups because I thought that they were a really different aesthetic and I thought it made them unique. However, this is beautiful and I think it is gorgeous. Then when we move over to the quads packaging, this is what it looks like. It is absolutely stunning. Like who needs a bouquet when you've got this packaging? That's all I'm saying. Excuse me, can we not eat my hair? This is beautiful, however, it does open differently than the other ones, but I do like it better than the holiday packaging opening that she did this last time. So to me, I thought this was better, and this is kind of how the lip one is as well, and it just slides down into this. Do I like it as much as I like the other ones? No, I kind of don't, but I like it a lot. I think it's probably some of the most beautiful packaging she's done for the quads, but I do miss the ties. I thought that they were really cool. They're also kind of a pain in the butt, but they are really cool. So I don't know. I'm torn on that. Let me know if you guys prefer the twist method or if you guys like this little flappy that's kind of like an envelope box. I'm really curious to know that. Just so you guys know, each of the liquid lipsticks were $30 a piece. There is now, of course, now that I've already purchased it, a bundle of the two of them for $50, and then this quad is $58. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what the inside of this quad looks like. I've already used it, sorry, so it's already kind of battered. But this is the inside. Let's speak objectively for a second. If I had nothing else, this would be a very beautiful quad. Now let me add some things to that statement. This I do not believe is worth $58. There are no special shades in this. I feel like this is overpriced. I think when she originally started releasing the quads and they had those really beautiful different special shades that she puts into her big packaging, the price was justified. Maybe it could have been a little lower because it started at $65, but then she moved it to $58. And then some of the holiday ones this year had some of the specials, some of them didn't, and I kind of thought those were overpriced too, because I thought that they should have been more like the first year's. Now this I definitely feel is overpriced because I'm sorry, you're paying that price for two mattes, a satin, and a metallic. Now granted, the metallic is beautiful, the satin is also really beautiful, and the mattes worked really well. You can get this kind of quality from indie brands. You can get it from a lot of different brands. You can get that in her bigger palettes as well. I do think this is beautiful. I just don't think the value is there for the pricing. That's just my opinion, and I'm sorry because I love Pat McGrath. I think that what she does is beautiful. I think her art is gorgeous. I think her artistry is amazing. I think that everything that she does is great. However, this to me was just overpriced. That's just where I stand on it. Not just that, and this is what I've been saying in my last few videos, and I've got all of my palettes here that are comparable, and I'm going to do swatches. I'm going to do comparisons. I think that they are way too similar. I think she's releasing too much of the same thing. The Divine Rose collection is really reminding me of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk collection, where it's just like everything is an extension of it, and they're all starting to look the same. That's my opinion. I said that in my last video. In fact, I actually said, and I said, I might have even said it 2 videos, if there continues to be more of the exact same, I'm not going to purchase it, I'm not going to purchase it, I'm not going to purchase this. And if I didn't do videos and the packaging wasn't as beautiful as it is, I wouldn't have even picked this up. 100%. However, let me speak to the other side, which is that if you do not have any of these palettes, yes, you can get this and you're not going to find duplicates within what you have. However, if I was going to spend my money for the first time with Pat McGrath in this kind of color range, I would be picking up this. This is the Ritualistic Rose Quad. To me, this is just so beautiful. It is special. It is amazing. It is like my shining star. So these two paired together, of course, gorgeous. It all works really well together, so I will say that. But this is chock full of special shades, and this was $65. Now it is far less. I think I've seen it on sale for like half off at one point too. So wait for a sale, pick this up, and then save yourself not only some money, but also by getting this, you're giving yourself a chance to try the best of her kind of collection. And in fact, two of these shades in here literally remind me of these, except for these are special. So when we do the comparison swatches, you're going to get to see exactly what I am talking about. So yes, you guys are kind of getting my review now, but I thought it was best to preface these swatches by talking about why I'm going to be swatching other things alongside of it, because I think that if you already have some of these palettes, you just don't need this. If you already have some of these palettes, this is just excess. It really is. I mean, unless you're a collector, which a lot of us are, and that is okay, because clearly, I think I am too. I just don't think this is a necessary purchase. Now, I will talk about these liquid lipsticks, and I will say that they are wonderful. Like, this isn't even doing it justice. The lighting's really strange because in reality, my lips are actually very similar to the color of my sweater. So I'm just putting that out there. This reminds me very much of the shade Androgyny. I think if I did a side-by-side swatch, they would be very, very close. But I think that these wear really nicely. Like, I've eaten in everything and it held on. It is a really comfortable, like, it is more on the dry side, but not in an uncomfortable, like, my lips look like super dried out way. I mean, there is a little bit of texture to them, but I feel like it's totally acceptable within the range of comfort that I'm still getting from it. So me, I think that they were a really good buy, especially now that they have the duo where you can pick them both up for the $50. And I'm going to go ahead and swatch this quad, and I'm going to swatch it compared to other shades that I feel like match the colors in this. I just want to be able to show you that you have options within what you already have from her. It is just as beautiful, if not a little bit more beautiful, in my personal humble opinion. So in any case, I'm going to do swatches and then this eye look, and I'll see you guys at the very end for my final thoughts. Okay, first we're going to start by swatching the Eternal Eden quad, and the first shade here is called Pink Mystique. And this is a really beautiful, strong pink and gold kind of shifting shade. Very, very pretty. Next shade is called Temptation. And I picked up way too much. So, excuse me while I buff out the mess I've just made. That is like a muted hot pink. The next shade is called Earthly Delight. Ooh, that's like a beautiful mauve shade. Ooh, that's pretty. The last shade in the quad is called Forbidden Fruit. Oh my goodness. And that is a beautiful kind of purplish pink, metallic, gorgeous foiled shade. And that is the whole quad. Okay, so now I'm going to try and do comparisons to Pink Mystique from the Eternal Eden quad. And this is that shade. And I'll put the shades that are similar to it right next to it so we can see them. Okay, so from my favorite quad, the Ritualistic Rose, I'm going to be doing this second shade right here, which is called Astral Rose Orchid. However, this is in her special shade formula. Oh my. And you can tell immediately how much more beautiful that shade is. Not that this is not beautiful, but this, by comparison, is just insanely gorgeous. Now, it does also have that pink to gold kind of flip, but the gold is a little bit more, you know, a little bit green speckled with glitter particles. So it is more strong, and it is a different formulation. And then in the original Divine Rose, I'm going to do the shade VR Rose Venus, which I think will be a much stronger version of the shade that we see in the Eternal Eden quad. This is VR Rose Venus. And that is a beautiful pinky orange to gold. It is so stunning, but it is in that family 100%. But it is different in all reality. Now, there was another shade in another one of the quads that I thought would have been an applicable one, but it doesn't have a gold flip, so I decided not to include it here. Okay, the second shade in Eternal Eden is called Temptation. And I'm going to pull a shade from the Risque Rose quad that came with the holiday collection this last year, and that shade is Rose Rebellion right here. So this is different, I can tell you that out the gate, but it is still in that really like bright pink kind of fuchsia-ish category. This definitely is more true fuchsia. This is more muted. But at least you can see where the colors are definitely within the same family. So do you necessarily need both? Not really. Okay, the next shade that I'm going to pull is from the Rose Decadence palette. A lot more peach toned, but I am going to do it. It's called Peach Dusk. So definitely more in that peachy undertone family, but it is still a very strong pink shade. In Divine Rose 2, I'm going to go ahead and do the shade in the middle of the palette, which is called Rose Seduction. This is, again, not going to be the same, but it is in that really pink family. If anything, it is extremely close to this, just more bubblegum as opposed to fuchsia. The next shade in the Eternal Eden quad is called Earthly Delight. Again, I'm going to pull from the Risque Rose quad. What I use is this one right here. It is too dark. It's comparable. It's in the same family, which is why I'm going to swatch it, but it is darker. And this is called Mink Noir. So this is darker. This is browner. I think if you sheared it out a lot, it could be more similar, but it is different. And then from the Fleur Fantasia quad, I'm going to do the shade Lotus Paradise, although this is a lot lighter than the other shade, to be honest. Lighter and more pink. This would actually make a really nice set of colors. And the last comparison I'm going to do is from the Divine Rose 1 and the shade Veloria. I might be pronouncing that incorrectly. More gray toned. Yeah. But there is that one. The last shade in the Eternal Eden quad is Forbidden Fruit. From the Ritualistic Rose quad, I'm going to be doing Rose Quartz 005, which is this shade right here. Now this is that special formulation. So the texture is different, but boy, that's pretty darn similar actually. Texture is different, but they look very, very similar here. Some lights this looks more red, and then some lights it looks more purple, but pretty darn close. Okay, and then in the Fleur Fantasia palette, I'm going to go ahead and do the shade Iridescent Orchid, which is one right here. Alright, this texture is more like this one right here, but this is definitely more pinky orange. It is very pretty, but it is not like this one. Even though it does have a strong purple shift as well, but I don't know if you guys are seeing that. I'm going to be honest, there's sun in my eyes and I can't see a darn thing. From VR Rose 1, I'm going to go ahead and do the shade Rose Dusk. It's a different texture, but color is very similar. It is definitely different. Completely. It is more of a satinish kind of mauve-y shade. And the last two that I'm going to pull from are from the Divine Rose 2, and I'm going to do the shades Eleganza and Divine Dusk. Here is Eleganza, and this one down here is Divine Dusk. Actually, that is fairly similar from the side, but in the monitor I can't really see it because the sun is like insane right now. But it color-wise and finish-wise is probably the most similar, except for this one, which the finish is different on. The last shade I'm going to swatch is Divine Dusk, which is clearly more brown. But that is all of the shades. I'm really just wanting you guys to see that there are options within your collection, so if you have some of these items, you don't necessarily need to go out and splurge on another quad. While it is beautiful, it is kind of unnecessary within this range.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, I am back. I have eyeliner on, I have mascara on, I have swatched the things, I have put on the things, and I'm here with my final thoughts, which I'm sure you guys know from watching the first half of the video, and that is that this is a very beautiful quad, but it's also a very unnecessary quad if you already have a lot of these products. And in my opinion, if you're going to pick up one of the quads, Ritual Realistic Rose is so much more beautiful for the price, and I genuinely feel you will enjoy it more. Now, if you are a matte lover, that comment, let me just strike it from the record. But if you are like me, or if you really want to get a feel for Pat McGrath's formulation and all the things that make her unique, that's the one I would pick up. Or go for the bigger palettes if you are able to. You're not going to be let down. They are both beautiful. Like I love them. And then on the liquid lipsticks, number one, I think that the name is way too long. I'm sorry. I love you, Pat McGrath, but oh my goodness, what a mouthful. I could not, I was like, I said it like 20 times. I'm not even kidding. And even then, it was still not good. But the colors are gorgeous. They're going to look good on so many different skin tones, and that's something I love about Pat McGrath. We're definitely worth the purchase. The other items I can't speak to right now. I do hope to sometime pick up the highlight. It is beautiful, but I was just like, I have a lot of highlights. It just doesn't make sense for me to get it right now. But as far as the Divine Rose 2 goes, it is stunning. You should definitely get it if you are able to. I think that that is just one of the most hands-down beautiful palettes of all time, and the shipping was really good. It got here fairly quickly. And if you are able to, I do think that the Divine Rose 2 is gorgeous, especially when you can grab it in this packaging. I will say that I thought it was supposed to be limited edition, so I was a little disappointed that they came back out with this again. However, I can understand how sad I would have been had I not been able to get this version of it. So I really hope that everybody that wanted it was able to get it, or if you are interested in it, that it's still in stock and you can snatch it on up, because it is beautiful. Like, come on. I love you, packaging. You're gorgeous. In any case, I definitely think this collection is gorgeous, but you guys know how I feel about it. If you have any of these other items, you may just want to go ahead and pass on the Eternal Eden quad. But if this is your jam, or if you're a collector, definitely go ahead and scoop it up, because the quality is there. It is still a very beautiful quad, and you're not going to be let down if you're a true Pat fan. However, I am really praying that Pat is done with this whole collection for right now. Let's move on to some different color stories, because I've been praying, I've been asking, please give me greens. I just want some greens. Obviously, you guys know I'm a little biased to green, but I'd take greens, I'd take oranges, I'd take purples. I'm like open to some stuff here, but I am kind of over the pinks and golds. Please bring me something else, Pat McGrath. I am ready. We're all ready for it. Anyway, I really hope that this video was helpful. If it was, make sure you leave a comment down below, like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.